All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about your law firm's most powerful and honestly most overlooked asset, your website. We're going to break down exactly how you can turn that site from what might just be a digital brochure right now into a relentless, client-winning machine. So, let's get to it.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number that, well, it should make you sit up and pay attention. 64%. That's how many of your potential clients are using a search engine as their very first step when they're looking for a lawyer. Think about that for a second. The main battlefield for your firm, it's not the yellow pages anymore, it's not a local ad, it is Google's front page.
And what that really means is that having a strong web presence, it's not just a nice to have anymore. As one industry report put it, it's now, quote, essential for survival and growth. In other words, your website isn't just a marketing line item, it's a core, critical business tool.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to cover the why, this new digital handshake. Then we'll get into the what with a simple framework I call the 4 C's, plus the essential pages every single site needs. And finally, we'll wrap up with the how. You know, the nitty-gritty of getting found on Google, and most importantly, turning all those visitors into actual clients.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that a client's first impression was a firm handshake in your office. But today, that impression is made online, way before they even think about picking up the phone. Your website has become the new front door to your firm.
And that new front door, well, it swings open and slams shut in just 50 milliseconds. Now, you heard that right. That's 0.05 seconds. It's literally the blink of an eye. That is all the time you have to make a good first impression online. It's an instant judgment call on your firm's entire credibility.
So this modern client journey, it's really a digital dance with a few key steps. It all starts with a search. But then, it gets interesting. 83% of people go check online reviews, and a massive 75%, 3 out of 4, will judge your entire firm's credibility based only on how your website looks. And even if they do reach out, if you don't respond in 5 minutes, your chances of qualifying that lead drop dramatically. Your website is at the absolute center of every single one of these steps.
Okay, so if that's the challenge, how in the world do you build a site that actually works? Let's use a really simple but powerful framework to guide us. The 4 C's. It's a super memorable model for pretty much every decision you're going to make about your site. Just think of these 4 things working together. First, you've got clarity. That's what gets them in the door. They land on your site and they instantly know, okay, these people can help me. Then you need credibility. That's where you build trust with things like testimonials and case results. From there, you provide great content, which proves you're an authority and answers their burning questions. And all of that, every single piece, is designed to lead to conversion, the final crucial step where they pick up the phone and call you.
Okay, so how do we put this framework into practice? What are the core building blocks, the absolute non-negotiable pages that make up your digital office?
At a bare minimum, every single law firm website needs these 5 pages. The homepage, that's your first impression. The About Us page, that's where you build a real human connection. Your practice area pages clarify what you do. Your testimonials provide that vital social proof. And it all funnels down to the Contact Us page, your direct line to a brand new client.
Now I want to zoom in for a second on the About Us page, because it's often the second most visited page on any law firm site. And this is not the place to just dump a resume. This is your chance to tell your firm's story, to actually humanize your attorneys, and, most importantly, to spell out exactly what makes you different from the firm down the street.
And that's really the strategic purpose of this page. It's where you get to answer the biggest question on a potential client's mind. What really sets you apart? Why should I choose you over all the other options out there? So you could have the best website in the world, but it's pretty useless if nobody can find it. So how do you get noticed? Well, the answer is something called search engine optimization, or SEO. It's basically the science of making sure your firm shows up right when a potential client is searching for help.
Now, I know SEO can feel really overwhelming, but when you boil it all down, it really comes down to 5 key things. It all starts with writing great content that answers the real questions your clients are asking. Then you just optimize that content with the words they're actually using, you promote it to build authority, you manage your online reviews, and you fix any technical stuff that's slowing your site down. That's it.
And if you're wondering if all this effort is worth it, well, just look at the numbers.
the average return on investment for SEO is a staggering 750%. Now compare that to just 150% for traditional ads. The data is crystal clear. Investing in your online visibility pays back in a huge, huge way.
Okay, so getting traffic to your site through SEO, that's only half the battle. Now we have to focus on the most important part, turning those visitors into actual paying clients. This is our final C from the framework, conversion.
To really get why this is so important, we have to look at a little bit of human psychology. You see, we are all wired for what's called social proof. We look to other people to help us decide if something is a good idea. That's why things like testimonials and case studies, they aren't just fluff. They are powerful psychological triggers that tell a potential client's brain, hey, hiring this firm is a safe, smart choice.
So let's turn that psychology into a practical checklist. A website that converts well just makes it incredibly easy for people to say yes. That means clearer calls to action, like book a consultation. It means your phone number is impossible to miss. It means you're showing off that social proof. And critically, it means your site is fast and dead simple to use. Never, ever make a potential client work to give you their business.
So this really all boils down to one simple question. Is your website a client magnet, or is it just an online brochure? A magnet actively pulls people in with clear instructions, easy ways to contact you, and all those trust signals. A brochure, it's just passive. It's clunky, it hides the contact info, and it makes people do all the work. Our goal is to be a magnet.
Here's the best way to think about your website. It's not an expense, it's your hardest working employee. It never calls in sick, it never takes a vacation, and it is out there working for your firm, generating leads 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And that leaves us with one final question that you really need to ask yourself right now. Is your website your firm's most valuable asset, actively winning you new clients? Or is it your biggest liability, turning them away before they ever even call? The choice and the opportunity is yours.